and a warm welcome back to the Hayley Osborne Show, this beautiful podcast. I am your host, Hayley, and if you are just listening in for the first time today, welcome. And this is a very special episode today, 200 episodes. Yes, you heard that right. 200 episodes. It feels really weird when I say it out loud. I can't believe that we are 200 episodes down, that I have shown up and hit record and shared my thoughts, my lessons, my perspectives 200 times. Like, oh my goodness, raising three small humans in the process, building a business in the process, and navigating life in real time feels pretty cool, right? And today I didn't want to give you a list of tips, but I wanted to share what it actually takes to build a high performing brand while doing all of the things I just listed. But not really the polished version. I want to share with you the real version because it is real. Like there's still mess. There's still a messy middle, right? Because I think what you see on the outside is there's always something that happens behind the scenes that you miss out on. And like people often ask me how I stay so productive, how I achieve so much in my day, knowing what they know about my world of small humans at the moment. There is three of them. They are under five. And the truth is, I think that I do what my capacity lets me do. And I think that underlying that, and I spoke about this the other day with a client, is definitely discipline. And I don't think like you can teach yourself discipline, but discipline comes from a young age of, this client of mine, she runs her own company, very successful, and had like underlying like sports like me, and from a young age, just really like putting it in and achieving highly in her industry of, what you do when you're younger in sports and entertainment. And so, I think the ability to be able to like from that discipline and from doing these things at a young age to be able that help you now in business is, the decisions that you make really fast. You know what matters and where to spend your time. You let go of or remove or outsource what doesn't matter. And I've gotten really good at protecting my time and my energy, because I think that productivity without being clear on what you want to achieve makes you tired. I don't really like to use the word burnt out. Just tired and no full cup. And so I think knowing what you are able to do to your own capacity, on the other hand, creates something more sustainable. And that's what has happened within my business. And this is how I've been able to show up consistently, because I do what actually moves the needle and what actually moves things forward. And the ability to make decisions quickly has helped me so much along the way. And I hear this often, with high performing humans and brands and businesses, is that they don't sit on anything. They don't procrastinate on an idea. They just execute. And I think that's what separates people. And I don't, wake up and ask myself, oh, do I feel like recording this podcast today? This is who I am. I just get up and do it. All right. Because I have a plan and I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I am someone who shows up. I am someone who is true to their word. I am a leader. And I am someone who follows through. And they are, I think, the defining factors of like things that remove friction and give you the ability to be able to get things done, because it becomes honestly who you are, and it is part of who I am. And I stopped negotiating with myself a long time ago, and I think that is a byproduct of my identity, not my effort, which they're two different things. So when you have systems in your business, it creates freedom. But I know it's kind of like, 10 steps forward and 4 steps back, because you need to be able to create the systems to build the freedom. And creating the systems to build the freedom means you need to step aside. Okay. They're not like war and peace. It's simple, repeatable things that look like, batching content, having really clear priorities every week, understanding your why, and removing really unnecessary systems and decisions and allowing the necessary systems to help you to create space, to help you to create pace. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I've got this beautiful yellow top on. We'll digress, but I've been curating a wardrobe of a particular yellow. So if you've been following on my social media, you know that I've got that really awesome yellow suit. And it's not like a normal buttery yellow. It's not a dull yellow. It's not a yellow yellow. It is like a neon yellow. And it's so powerful and I absolutely love it. And so I've got this beautiful top on that is that yellow. And I love it. And that's what I've been kind of curating this wardrobe of that color. It's actually very hard to find, which is why not many people wear it. So I feel like it's a bit of a differentiator, and it's recognizable, right? So anyway, we digress, but another thing that's sort of like alleviates decisions is having like understanding what your brand stands for and when your brand matches who you are. Brand is everything. So brand is, your environment, your office environment, your what you wear every day, along with your tone of voice, aesthetics, fonts, brand colors, it needs to match who you are for everything to be really smooth flowing. So definitely alignment over everything. And if that's one thing that's made the biggest difference in my business, it's alignment, but it hasn't happened overnight. Like I have had that yellow suit in my wardrobe for a few years now. And it's not until like now that I've really kind of started to lean into it and realize, oh yeah, that is a thing. It is becoming a thing, but it never was a thing. And so now I'm making it a thing because of I don't know, this realization that, this also matters. And when your brand matches who you are, like when you are stopping to create content because, you know the simple, repeatable, consistent things that create freedom, the content becomes easier to create. Your messaging becomes so much more clearer and your audience connects faster because it's like you're not forcing things and there's that girl in that yellow suit or there's that girl in that yellow again. And then it's just like that reinforcement, that recognition, and your messaging becomes clearer and your audience then connects faster and it's not forced. It's just a natural thing that happens and you start flowing and it feels bloody great. So this is where though I see where lots of business owners come unstuck. It doesn't have to be the color that you wear or whatever, but when you're trying to grow, I see you are growing as a person, but your brand hasn't caught up to who you are yet. And that is where I see a lot of business owners get stuck. I'm just looking at my cup of tea I have a pot of tea here and I have popped some collagen powder in there because I have that every day. And I have turmeric in there too, and it's almost the same color as my top. But it's so good for you. I'm just going to have a little bit of tea. It just makes me feel so good from the inside. I love having a pot of tea and it's like a ritual, right? So it's kind of like a system in my business as well. So anyway, I digress, but that's where I see a lot of business owners that I work with and I've found that they become unstuck because you grow as a person and your knowledge grows and everything gets, better and better, but the brand doesn't catch up with that. And then there becomes this massive gap. And it's really hard when you're so close to your business that you can't see it anymore for you to be the one to be able to catch it up. That's what I see often time and time again. And this is something that I do and that I can help you with inside my VIP days. And it's all about the standard that you set for yourself because it matters. And I think you can't expect to grow a high performing brand when you have just those bursts of motivation. You need to have those standards, that discipline, that underlying foundation of how you show up, what you create, how you communicate. It all sets a beautiful tone and it is the most beautiful flow when you know what you are doing. Because if you can't communicate all of these beautiful things, how do you expect your audience to understand these beautiful things that you can do? Because it's kind of like chicken and egg, right? You've got to be able to understand who you are, what you do, how you show up, how your audience connects with you, the clarity for other people to be able to get those things to be able to connect with you, to be able to understand how you can help them. It's crazy, but I see it often time and time again with business owners I work with is that you're so close to these things that you can't see them anymore and they're right under your nose, honestly. So don't build it on bursts of motivation, build it on strategy, okay? And set a standard for yourself so you can hold yourself to that when nobody's watching. And that's the thing that compounds over time. And that's what I found in my own business as well. That, it builds trust, it builds authority, and that's what gets you to 200 podcast episodes. So I think I know a thing or two about that. And I don't think that you need more and more and more. I think you need clarity. And I think I see most business owners thinking, oh, I just need to do this. I just need to have a podcast. I just need to write a book. I just need to do blah, blah, blah. I need more content platforms like strategies, but you just need clarity on your messaging, your positioning, your direction, positioning on like physically how you're showing up. What colors are you wearing? How do you want to be perceived? What's your office like? Like, it all connects because I think when you're clear, everything becomes so much more simpler. And this is something that I love to help people with. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I know, Haley, I know that my business has more in it and I'm ready for the next level. I know that I am. I have space for that. I know that things are feeling very close, but I'm not quite there yet. This is exactly the work that I do. So, helping you to refine your brand, align your messaging, and build a strategy that actually supports your growth, whether it's through a VIP day or stepping into something deeper like my accelerator. And this is where everything starts to click. So, if 200 episodes has shown you anything, it is that consistency, that clarity, and that pure alignment. When it feels good, it changes everything. Um, Thank you for being here and thank you for celebrating 200 episodes with me. It is a milestone. It is beautiful. And I will see you next week for 201. But let's just celebrate this moment because I cannot actually believe that I have shown up 200 times. If you're thinking about booking a VIP day with me and you think that it sounds beautiful, head over the show notes. There's a link there, but it's also on my website. You can book in a little 15-minute quick chat with me if you want to know a little bit more. And it is in such a high vibe location that it will change the way you start to think about your business. And that's really important. All right, that's it from me, guys. Got to go about my day. Bye.